Today's question is simple. How many near death experiences, kidnappings, floods, fights, and life threatening situations do two people need to go through for them to stop making out every 5 minutes? Well, apparently the answer is not enough. Hello, and welcome to my first episode of my new series to all the books I've read before, where we review books and talk about our very strong opinions on books and about them. Today, we're going to be talking about the first book, quite a reckless book, Reckless, by Lauren Roberts. The second book in the trilogy, Powerless. And yeah, let's get into it. I have quite a few points to make today because I was writing down my opinions while reading the book because I only finished it last night. But yeah, let's try and get through them fast as if we're in a rush because I don't know. I'm not. The first page starts with a prologue and it starts with Kai, who mind you is all broody and way past being a good man except for the people he loves. Like he doesn't care. He'll kill people because he doesn't care about lives anymore. He's been raised around death and death is his thing because he's the enforcer of the king. So it's nothing new to him, obviously. And so the prologue starts with him taking a sticky bun with a candle in it to a willow tree in the palace gardens. And it looks like it's for somebody's birthday, but it's obviously not his because I think he says like happy birthday or something. No, he doesn't say happy birthday. He says something. It looks like he's being a big weirdo like in the tree with the candle. But yeah, to be honest, I forgot about the prologue until it came up again. Like what happened, it came up again a little more than halfway through the book. Yeah, so I forgot about that, and we'll talk about it later, like what he was actually doing in the tree in the prologue. Another thing I wanted to mention is the reuse of the same words and phrases. I know Lauren Roberts, while the Powerless series has been like criticized because apparently it's plagiarized by the book Red Queen. I don't know who the author is, but I'll have to do a video on that just to compare the books because I finished Reckless last night, but once I find Red Queen, I can read it and do like a video on that. So yeah. Anyways, same words and same phrases. Everything involving breathing gets reused over and over and over again, and it gets so tiring. Like people's breaths are hitching, catching, faltering, or getting sucked in every other page. And the amount of huffing in this book needs to be studied, to be honest. Especially between Kai and Payton, because they're constantly huffing at each other. Like you'll say Payton, she was like, she huffs half-heartedly, and that happens like every page. I don't know. It needs to be stopped. And I think it also needs a few more synonyms for smile also, because every expression is either a grin, a smirk, a smirk, or a smile creeping onto somebody's face. And also Kai and Payton's relationship makes absolutely no sense to me. It's obvious they're going to end up together at the end of the book, or actually the end of the series, I think. I don't know what happens in the third book, but I feel like they're obviously going to end up together. The problem is I don't understand why they're still fighting it in the book. I think I understand a little more now that I've finished reading the book, but I don't understand why they were fighting this whole time because it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. Kai spends half the book avoiding Peyton because she killed his father, the king. It would make sense if he was upset at Peyton for killing his father if he actually cared about the father. Thing is, he doesn't. Alright. This is the same man Kai admits doesn't deserve to be grieved for. The same man who tortured him. Kai literally thanks Peyton for killing him sometime in the book. He's like, thank you for killing me. Thank you for killing my father, the king. He also said at one point, like towards the end of the book, he was like, he is jealous that Peyton got to do it, and he used to fantasize about it like every time, but never got that close to doing it, which kind of sucks. But anyways, this is at the beginning of the book, so yet somehow he's still mourning his father. Kit, I understand, bro. Like, Kit and his father were like this. Obviously Kit becomes king now, and he stays in his office, and he becomes like a bum or whatever, and he's working on himself. My English today. Fast forward a few chapters, we're with Peyton when she escapes Ilya, and she's indoor, and there's this illegal fighting ring. Okay, mind you, Peyton is injured. She has a cut on her thigh because Kai threw a dagger at her thigh. She's like on the brink of death when we first see her in the book, and somehow she's still able to fight a grown-ass man, and I don't understand that. Anyways, the whole illegal fighting thing indoor felt kind of short-lived. It gets introduced, seems important, and then it's basically over before it becomes interesting. Don't even get me started on Kai and Peyton's timing, because their timing is so bad. Like in the book, these two are constantly running from death, kidnappers, and a bunch of randos, floods, and whatever disaster the author throws at them, and somehow they always find the time to be a couple. Peyton, you're supposed to be hating this man. Like, how are you making out in a flooding sewer, guys? How are you running for your lives and somehow ending up on his lap? Like, in a gambling men's club thingy, even, as if it's not bad enough. People are actively chasing you, and he's got time to pin you against the wall and kiss your neck. Like, be creative, Kai, we get it, you like her, obviously. That sewer kiss was so nasty, oh my days. I don't know if it's just because, like, I'm single, or like I'm not in love, but words cannot describe my horror. Actually, how are you fully making out in a sewer as it's flooding? Like, that's actually disgusting. And you're running for your lives from people that just kidnapped you, as if it's not enough. That's actually so crazy. There were some funny things though, I'm not going to lie, in this book. As much as I don't hate it, as much as I dislike it to a certain extent, there was this funny scene in the book where Kai leans over to Peyton like he's about to kiss her, but then instead he ends up chaining her ankle to his. Like, he like kisses, and then he's like click, and she's like, what the hell? And then it's actually so funny. That part was funny, and Lord knows where Kai got that chain, but who cares, because it's a story and it's fantasy, romantasy. I also love Peyton's friends, Lenny, Lena, and Finn. They're cool. They're funny also. I like funny characters. Peyton has this thing about killing people, so she believes that nobody, especially her, has the right to decide who gets to live and die and who gets their life or not, and that every time she kills somebody by accident, then she feels super guilty about it. That makes sense, right? Except for the fact that she's constantly trying to kill the one person that she has left that actually loves her and she loves back, which is Kai. I don't understand why she's like trying to stab him in the sleep and all of that and escape. But I thought, bro, yeah, you don't question it. She tried to stab him multiple times throughout the book and never does. Like, you have the moment she's holding her knife like this and she can do it, or she can throw it from the roof, and she doesn't. Yet she's so obsessed with this. Like, she even threatened to drown him one time. Yeah, that's crazy. That girl is bloodthirsty. Also in the very beginning of the book, till almost halfway, Peyton is injured. Like I said, she's injured. She's on the brink of death with a stab wound courtesy of Kai, and then suddenly it disappears with no infections whatsoever. Because, no, hear me out. Because all that she had, right, was like a t-shirt or something that she could wrap her wounds with, and somehow they already healed, and she's able to do like a fight in the sewers and all of that, and that doesn't make sense. Also, in burns, yeah, and yeah. So back to the birthday thing in the prologue, if you remembered, because I didn't when I was reading this book. We find out that Kai and Kit had a little brother named Ava who died at the age of 4. She was weak, and their mom, the queen, not Kit's mom, Kai's mom, the queen, almost died giving birth to her, and the king didn't like how weak she was, so he kept her a secret so nobody in the kingdom knows. And she was a crawler, so she could like climb up walls and stuff, but she was weak, so she would always fall off the walls, which is kind of funny if you think about it. Not the death part, the falling off the walls. It's sad, like the whole Ava story, but I'm not sure what the point of telling us about it is, like what the objective was, because I don't know how it benefits me as the reader. Also, I don't remember the first book that much, because I keep getting it confused with Fourth Wing, but I do know that it was not mentioned in the first book because I even googled it, so I don't know, maybe it comes up in the third book. The whole thing that they had in the first book came back in this one in chapter 35 when Peyton wants an answer to a question. So if you haven't read the third book, basically when Peyton asks Kai like a deep question or whatever, like she asked why did he tell her about Ava, she has to dance with him. He's like, we dance, you get an answer. So yeah, that's how it works. It's slightly corny, or very much corny, but in a cute way. So it's cute corny when you read the book, not how I'm describing it. Also, I don't understand why do that in those circumstances. I cannot express the amount of bad timing these people have, bro. They were in a field or like by a cave or something. They're tired, they were just running for their lives and stuff like that, and now he wants to dance for a question. You guys need to lock in, bro. I guess I can't be talking. Actually, yes, I can be talking. I just can't help wondering why. I even wrote why in capital letters. Why? They don't like each other, and yet they are still being a full-blown second chance situationship, friends with benefits, not really enemies, but still lovers to enemies to lovers again type thing. I sound like Eminem, bruh. That's how bad it is. Like, they don't like each other and they're still dancing. They use pretend as an excuse, so they're using it as a distraction. So the friends with benefits bit, like, yeah, whatever you call it, this relationship these days, because you never know what this generation. Peyton really likes to call Kai insufferable, and I think their vocabulary is very limited. Okay, so basically, right, they're sleeping and there's a horse that they stole from a man, okay, and so Peyton has a wonderful idea to try and escape. So what she does is, so Kai falls asleep holding both the horse reins, okay? She's lying next to him, and she decides to slowly take off Kai's hands from the reins, okay? That makes sense. why is she putting Kai's hand in her hand if she's trying to escape? Kai is a light sleeper, right? He's the enforcer. Obviously, if he's getting attacked, he's gonna like wake up quickly. But why? Why? Like, seriously, bro, lock in. Actually, lock in. Unrelated though. This is like irrelevant to the horse thing, but I think it would be like cool as hell to have an ability to be a what does she call them? They are ordinaries, the people without powers, and the I can't remember. Anyways, they're these people with powers that I can't remember their names. To be honest, that love confession scene was pure gold. Okay, just imagine you're in a poppy field. Because Kai had to bring the fugitive Payton to the king because Kai asked to bring her. So just imagine you're in a poppy field. You're like right by the castle. He's about to hand you into your death. And then bro says he loves you and you love him back, and he's trying to escape you and stuff. That was pure gold. You know, one day I hope just like one day I get to experience those angry love confessions. You know, the ones when they're like suddenly just pissed off and they're like, I love him, and then they get shouting and you're like, I did this and this and this and this and this, and yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like that would be so nice. Yeah, that's like... So there's this part in the book where it's from Kit's point of view, where he goes to visit the queen and he's holding a ring box. It's like, yeah, those marriage ones. And then for a second I'm like, hold on a minute, because like, pause. I was so worried that Kit was going to propose to the queen, but he didn't. He just wanted to go visit her because she's dying of grief from the death of her husband. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, then what is he doing with the ring? And then I was like, oh, Kit is going to propose to Payton. That is crazy work, because I know they both, Kai and Kit, love Payton, but that is crazy. And I was right, obviously. So it looks like Kit is going to marry Payton while Payton is in love with Kai and Kai is in love with Payton, which is crazy. I feel like it's going to be so interesting though in the third book. I hope that Roberts doesn't manage to make that plot boring too. That would be more interesting than whatever this is so far. So yeah, it ends on a cliffhanger that doesn't really give me a book hangover. It's just like, I'm not thinking about it, because I predicted it happening. But yeah, that would be interesting. So the third book is Powerful. So once I find it, I'll read it and then do a review on that one. Okay, so let's say my favorite thing about this book was that it's finally finished. I'm joking. My favorite thing was probably the love confession and the few funny scenes in the book. I enjoyed those. I can't name them specifically, but yeah, those are my favorite parts. My least favorite thing was the repetitive wording, the boring storyline, and the bad timing. And would I recommend it? Some of my friends love Powerless, so I would recommend it to people that have probably read the first one if they enjoyed the first one, and people that I think would read it. But yeah, if you're watching this, then you're probably wondering what it's about, so yes, I would recommend it to you. And rating out of 5 stars, I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 for this one. And yeah, that's it for the review. It's gotten kind of dark now because I have the sunniest room in the house. Thank you for watching. Like I said, subscribe to my YouTube, Instagram, and Substack, and my TikTok. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.